So I figured out a method for adding concertina tab notation in MuseScore in the style of Gary Coover, and I wanted to share that in case it saves anyone some hassle trying to do the same thing. So the first thing we're going to do is come up to the menu and show the palette, and we're going to show the inspector. We need both those things. Now, each of the elements I'm going to add here is actually going to be a line, so I'm going to expand the lines palette, and I'm going to pick the simplest line they've got that's just called line. Drag that up to my palette there. And to add one of these, I select the note that I want and come back and click on the element in the palette. And there we go. Now you can see by default this goes all the way to the end of the measure. I don't always want that, so I'll select it and then select the end of it. And if I hold shift and use the arrow keys, I can adjust which notes it covers. So there we go. Now we're going to come over to the inspector and make all kinds of changes. To start with, I need to put the button number in here. So we're going to add begin text, and I want that to be a 3. For held notes, I think Gary Coover uses dashed lines. I'm using dotted, but whatever you prefer is fine. Now this isn't actually a held note, so I'm going to make the line not visible. And you can see it's still kind of grayed out there, but when you print this, that won't show. And I also want to center the text and then apply a little adjustment back to where it was before. So that should just about do it. The only thing left is positioning. And for that, we come up to this offset here and just adjust the Y offset until we have it where we want it. And there we go. That looks pretty good. Now, if you're familiar with the tab notation here, on a CG concertina, this ought to be a draw note if I'm using button 3 there. So we're going to add another line. And I just used the line pretty much unmodified here. This one I do actually want to have go to the end of the measure in this case, so I'll leave that. And we'll just adjust it up until it is above our other notation. So let's go ahead and add one more. I want to have um, a held note down below. So we'll do the same changes as before. Make sure to center that. There we go. And we'll just change the placement to below. And there we go. It's down below the staff now. And again, I'll just change my position until I've got it lined up where I want it. And we're in good shape. Now to make this a little easier on myself, I'm going to add a custom palette. And I should be able to just hold Command Shift, or if you're on Windows, Control Shift, and drag these over to my new palette. I'm also going to add the standard line, since we use that for indicating draw notes. And just some minor changes to make this a little easier to look at. Nothing too important here. And then I'll go ahead and give each of these a name. And we're done. Thanks for watching.